Hello and welcome to Buildings of Tomorrow. My name is John Lester, and in this episode we are talking about humanizing technology, specifically how technology should seek harmony. I'm joined today by Franziska Dolak, an Innovation Manager at Siemens Smart Infrastructure. Franziska, thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
Humanizing technology, we've talked about this before. In this episode we'd like to focus on technology, it seeks harmony. Can you explain to us what you mean by that?
So obviously in an office environment there's not just one person or one room, and so there's a lot to mitigate in terms of all of those different things working together. And so another experience principle was for us to make sure that our system really seeks harmony, so trying to find the solution that fits best for everyone involved, by removing friction as well, so making it easier to really navigate the whole alignment process, let's say.
Is this removing friction between the building or the space and the person, but also the people around?
Yeah, so it's really playing in the interaction. And I think we can possibly bring back the example we used in the last episode as well of this kind of meeting room booking, right? So it could be that I've invited for a meeting for 5 people and, over time it then figures out, hey, I'm actually inviting more and more people. So the room that initially was recommended to me because we're only 5 people is not enough anymore. And then obviously you have to find another room, but you're also having to see that of all those people that are coming potentially from all different areas of the building or even your building campus, let's say, that probably the walking distance shouldn't be too long. So that it's somewhat, fitting for everyone, where everyone can have the possibility to also arrive in time. So how can then the system make, let's say, a room suggestion that fits for the amount of people, as well as really making sure no one has an extra hassle around it.
So really looking at different aspects and different considerations for these day-to-day interactions to try and make it easier for everyone involved.
Yeah. Or maybe another example is temperature, right? So we talked about this very early on, that it's about my individual perception and feelings.
Sometimes I'm hot when someone else is cold.
50 people with individual perceptions and feelings. So how can we really seek harmony of, we're in an open space, we're sitting in the same office, and maybe we have very different temperature profiles, that I'm generally like on the cold side of life and always feel like, oh, it needs to be warmer. And maybe for you it's totally different. So how can the system really navigate those different needs and perceptions and demands by finding a solution, let's say a compromise even, that really fits for all, without us having to, go at each other's throat as like, what are you doing, right? I'm trying to heat the space and you're continuously cooling it down.
And this is something we also spoke about, where if you do give information, you do give feedback, you want to see the reactions to that. So still taking the feedback, but combining it with everyone else's and understanding the best change and the most consistent approach that will make the space comfortable for everyone to a certain extent is a good approach.
Exactly. And I think when it comes to seeking harmony, I think there's 2 levels to that. First of all, it's giving me the transparency, right? Am I the only one that's so cold? How is the rest feeling? Exactly tackling this feedback loop. So what are the rest's feelings and perceptions? But then also really giving me a way to navigate that without being me having to stand up and ask now everyone in the room, hey guys, I'd like to open the window, or really find the air is not so good in here. Is that really okay?
Yeah. So facilitating that or enabling that conversation without someone having to take the initiative or take responsibility for that.
Yeah, and be kind of the fall guy?
Yeah, the bad guy.
The bad guy.
Yeah, you don't want to be the bad guy that
it's her again,
that gets cold and closes the window when you need fresh air. So taking that responsibility off the individuals and collecting the information and making decisions for them.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us at Buildings of Tomorrow. Remember to tune in between March 8th and 13th for exclusive content and special guests direct from Light & Building 2020 in Frankfurt.